Okie doke, folks. It's game number 2 between Elazer and hOpe. ZvZ. Don't cast too many mirror matchups of Zerg and Protoss. But every now and then I like to go through a series and see kind of the differences these players use. Game 1, if you haven't checked it out, the annotation was down at the beginning of this. Worth seeing. Both of these players went for almost identical builds. Identical. A little bit of, trading on the ground with Zergling, baneling. I believe that Elazer took more favorable engagements on the ground, but hOpe was able to get out a slight muta lead, only like a couple, but he also was able to get that +1 attack finished, as well as his +1 carapace, whereas his opponent only had the +1 armor. So he allowed him to take a really convincing muta fight, and without anything else, Elazer essentially tapped out. If you just invest almost all of your attack and all of your resources into that muta, and then you just lose those fights, yeah, it's almost, well, it's not impossible, but it's super tough to come back into that. You pretty much have to turtle, get down to spore crawlers, work towards infestors or something, and then just slowly crunch your way out onto the map. And it's very hard to do that at the pro level. Ooh, is this a gas before pool that we might be seeing from Elazer? hOpe went for a pool first last time, and I'm expecting the same. Oh no. Looks like this is the time he picks to go for his hatch first. A little wonky. I'm a little surprised out of that. So it will be a gas speedling attack. See how all in it is. This is a really nice strategy. He did it on 14, so it's not as all in-ish. But obviously his economy is going to be quite a ways behind, so he's going to need to get some damage. Either get a cancel or kill his weight in workers, one way or the other. Anyways, I was talking about the muta action from game number 1 there. I've watched a fair bit of a Destiny streaming. I don't know if anybody else watched much Destiny out there. Still playing really high level. See his games quite a bit. Now he's making like computers while he streams and stuff, but whatever. But he's one of the few people I've seen take a game where you are essentially lost your muta control, you've lost map control, and it takes like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, but eventually crawl your way back into a win. It's one of the slowest, most arduous things. It requires like swarm hosts and infestors and clawing your way over to other bases and deflecting attacks and getting a huge hit with infestors on fungal growths for taking out mutaflocks. It's really fun to watch those games. They go on forever, and it's just the most grueling kind of Starcraft I think you can play. Oh, it's actually going to be Speedling and Baneling all in. Don't see any other base. Now, hOpe should be fairly aware of this. So Queens are on the way. Zerglings are on the way. Baneling nest as well for hOpe. But he will not have speed. And his baneling nest will be slower. Equal amounts of Zerglings right now. 2 more coming in. We'll tilt it slightly, but huge Zergling production. When speed is finished, it's going to be really about positioning. You don't attack any faster when you have speed finished, but you will get to what you need to attack faster when you have speed finished. Where are those morphing? I heard something morphing. Oh, he's morphing some there, and we're morphing some here. So, we'll see who can get good trades at this point. I'm going to pause and see who's got vision of what. So, he's got vision of when this hatchery is going on. So, he just essentially knows he's got to hold on here. If he can hold out, he will be in a good position. A little surprised I haven't got a spine crawler down. And it takes a long time to make spine crawlers. Good hits on those banelings. Whoa. Some pretty good baneling hits there. There obviously is still no speed that has been researched at all. There's no queen in the main either. This is kind of tough. More banelings being morphed here. No banelings being morphed on this side. So Elazer, I think, is losing his window of opportunity here. I mean, he still has speed. That's great. But he's down a hatch. That's enough Zerglings that it should be able to do something. Unless he gets completely caught off guard here. Yeah, he doesn't see this morphing over here. Banelings are finished. Lots of Zerglings out units-wise. There's a Zergling lead. right now for Hope. More banelings right now for Elazer, but they're pretty grouped up. So it's whether or not he can get the best trades. That's actually a pretty good trade right there. The Zerglings were going after those rocks, unfortunately, for Hope. And he's going to lose his queen. This could be the tilting of the tides here. This could have been what Elazer needed. Units-wise, tied on workers. The only real advantage we have for our buddy Hope was this hatchery. And he could lose it right now because he doesn't have speed. Baneling is morphing in the main. Really wants to block the access into his main right now. Surprised he isn't making more banelings. He's got the gas. He's going to run away first and make banelings. He's going to try to get that crawler down. This is a little funky. Oh, not the best hits. And these slow Zerglings aren't going to cut it. Yeah, I think Elazer got it just there. Unfortunately for Hope, I think that that wasn't like a build order win for Elazer there. I think Hope could have held that off. It wouldn't have been easy. It might have required even getting a wall or something. But I don't think he handled that in the best way. I can't say for sure what have done it, but I've seen other Zerg players hold that kind of play. And there was a point where he actually had more units, more economy than his opponent, and he just didn't quite have the right control at the right time, and that Zergling speed just happened to be enough. So the series is tied up 1-1. We're going into game number 3, and we can see who can pull out the win.